Tesla shares actually dipping at the end of the day, down about 2.5%. This all comes after reports that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, i.e. the SEC, is actually looking into whether Elon Musk's tweet about taking Tesla private, that tweet that sort of sent Wall Street into a headspin yesterday, whether that tweet in and of itself may have indeed violated the law. The shares, as you can see there, closed down slightly, 2.5%. They're still up nearly 8% from Tuesday morning. That is before Musk actually announced his intentions. I want to go straight now to Harvey Pitt. He's the former chair of the Securities Exchange Commission. He joins us live now. So, Harvey, thank you so much for being with us. You're the perfect person to help us make sense of this. I just want to start with Elon Musk's tweet. The way he announced that he was considering taking Tesla private, a lot of people are saying, well, you know, yes, he said that funding is secured, and of course, you know, he better have been serious about that. He must have funding secured if he's going to say that on Twitter. But just what do you make of how he made the announcement, and what might the SEC be looking into?
It's the way he announced this is highly unprecedented and very problematic. For one thing, he announced it during the market, and most announcements of this sort emanate from the company, not from a CEO's Twitter account. And in addition, they're made before the market opens or after the market closes. It's not so much the medium as the message. He had a very bare-bones statement, and he left out important details. So there are a lot of issues, I think, that regulators will want to nail down before they conclude that he didn't violate any laws.
And, you know, obviously, you know, Elon Musk has sort of made no secret of the fact that he is sometimes very angry with those who have been short selling his stock. After the news that came out yesterday, share price skyrocketed. It was up about 11% at the end of day yesterday. I mean, do they look into all of that as well in terms of if there is any sort of untoward motive for Elon Musk actually conducting business in this way?
I think two principal areas of concern are, first, whether his statements might have been fraudulent, and second, whether they might have been uttered for the purpose of manipulating the market. With respect to fraud, the SEC would have a concern as to whether what he said was true at the time he said it. What is important here is
Do you mean in terms of saying that the funding is secured? They have to verify whether or not, at the time that he sent out that tweet yesterday, whether or not he did indeed have funding?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And with respect to manipulation, it is illegal for somebody to make statements designed artificially to influence the price of a stock. His statements yesterday caused an 11% or 10% bump in Tesla's stock price. So one issue will be, why did he make those statements, and why did he make them at the time and in the manner he did?
Okay, so overall, do you think investors should be worried? What are your thoughts on that?
I believe that a lot of this can sort itself out, but I believe his conduct is very irresponsible. He may not want to be a public company, but right now, he is in a public company, and that means he has to follow the rules that are applied to all public companies.
So if, and I really want to emphasize the word if, because honestly, I don't know, nobody knows as of yet, but if it is determined that there may have been something in terms of SEC regulations that Elon Musk actually ended up violating, what would be the ramifications of that, do you think?
Yes, they will have to look into it and see whether his conduct in some manner offended a number of rules, and that includes rules relating to companies that are public but want to go private. There's a real issue here about the manner in which he announced this, and it's important to keep in mind that he does not alone have the power to determine whether Tesla will go private. That's for the outside directors and the
shareholders have to vote on it.
Yes.
Right. So we're not even sure what's going to end up happening here. All right, Harvey Pitt, to leave it there. Thank you so much for breaking that down for us. Appreciate that. So literally, as Harvey and I were just talking about, Elon Musk's plan is certainly not a done deal by any stretch of the imagination. As we just told you, he needs to deal with the SEC as well. He needs a Tesla board, which says it's considering his plan. And Musk also needs, as I mentioned, shareholder approval as well in order to take the company private. Ross Gerber is one of Tesla's most vocal and supportive investors. He told CNN he's not on board with Musk's proposal.
I think he wants to take the company private at 420. I don't think that's going to happen. You know, us shareholders aren't selling. Every shareholder I've talked to doesn't want to sell. And being a private company, I think, lowers the potential return outcome over the long term for Tesla shareholders who are currently public shareholders. So, you know, we're going to fight to you know, make Elon happy, keep the company public, and have the stock be fairly valued, which should be at around $571 a share. You know, we'll be buyers today in the market. If it opens under 420, we're going to buy every share we can. And the short sellers are done.